Great decorating is all about the details, including a gorgeous textured set of coasters. How we love a coaster. Functional. And why not be beautiful? Quince has a gorgeous set of woven rattan coasters in 3 terrific colors with their own little holder that you're going to absolutely love. And if you haven't visited quince.com/DTT yet, get on over there. It's everyday elevated living without the markup. From crisp 100% linen bedding and soft organic cotton towels to airy curtains and premium kitchen tools designed for everyday use. And the best part? Like Quince's clothing, their home goods are half the cost of similar brands. By partnering with top artisans, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. Elevate your space with home essentials from Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. Hey everybody, I'm Kelly Wilkniss here with Anita Joyce, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks Plus. It's a plus episode where you get more of us. And today we're discussing the unexpected red theory. Have you heard of it?
I have.
Okay, well, yeah, because you came up with this idea to talk about it.
Right. So it's supposedly the secret to making any space look better. It's essentially adding anything that's red, big or small, to a room, and especially to a room where it doesn't really match anything else. So this is an interesting theory, and I thought it was worth a discussion.
And the genesis of this unexpected red theory was on TikTok, from what I understand?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I think you have to sort of take this unexpected theory from whence it came, because a lot of people on TikTok have not experienced a whole lot of life yet, I'm going to say. I mean, I don't want to generalize, but it tends younger over on TikTok. So I don't know how unexpected the theory is of putting a pop color in a room is, but I'm willing to explore all of this with you. And I don't want to sound like an old curmudgeon. But
well, apparently someone was very shocked to see it.
Shocked to see it. Who was shocked to see it?
Somebody. I don't know.
Okay.
But let's talk about this because it's a little different approach, because normally when you're doing a room and a color, we talk about repeating that color. You don't want it to feel like it was an accident. You want it to feel like it was a plan. And so you do want a lot of the same color in there. And also the repeating of the color pulls the room together. So there's a lot of talk about using, a particular color throughout the room, repeating it. And so this is kind of a different approach to add just a little pop of it. And I think it works if it's something like red, because maybe a little red goes a long way, because it is such a strong color. I mean, think about a stop sign. They make them red for a reason, because the red really does draw your attention. So maybe one thing red in a room might be enough just to kind of go, oh, that's an interesting thing. So you don't really have to, I think if you want to add red, I don't think you have to do the whole room, because then it is going to definitely be making a particular statement that you might not want to make to do the whole thing in red. So I think this is a little different approach, just to have a pop. And I think, like you said, it's been done for ages. It's not really new. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're going to use red throughout as a color in your palette, then it's not the unexpected red theory. Then it's just you're using red as one of your main colors. So yes, in this line of thinking, it's a pop, as you mentioned, that therefore unexpected, because the rest of your palette is something completely other than red. And I totally agree with you. It's not going to be the unexpected mauve theory, right? Because that's just not going to pop enough, no matter what your underlying
that would fade
palette
away.
is.
You wouldn't even necessarily notice it in the room. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the red makes sense because you're not going to miss red in a room. But yeah, like maybe a green, a gray. You're not going to go, wow, look at that gray vase. My goodness, I just couldn't even notice anything else in the room because of the gray vase.
Exactly. And even with red, I think when we discussed decorating with red, which might be a great episode to listen along with this bonus episode, we talked about the fact that red has really, maybe along with blue, the biggest range in shades, tones, hues. So I think in this theory, we're really talking about something that is a brighter red. As something it doesn't have to be cherry, but if it was a really muted, moody, maroony, it might not have that same unexpected pop, which is what this theory is about. So I tried it out. I used to decorate with red as a primary color in my palette. I even had a moody, muddy red kitchen, which I loved in the house prior to this one. So I didn't really have pops of red then, and I don't have any red in my palettes now, but I have a red Dutch oven, and I took it out of the cabinet and I put it on my vintage stove.
No, wait a minute. Don't you have a red KitchenAid mixer as well?
I do, but I didn't think that would be I didn't want to leave that on the counter. Let's just say. It has its own special place where it goes down. It has this whole little mechanism. And it has its own little hiding place. So I didn't want to fiddle with all of that. Yes, I don't say I don't have any red in the recesses.
It's just all hidden.
I have, because I moved on. I wanted to do something different here. Not that I don't like red. I have red hair. Come on. But anyway, I took this Dutch oven out and I put it on the vintage stove, and Peter thought I was making soup and he was kind of excited, but I wasn't. I was just testing the unexpected red theory.
You shocked them. See, you shocked your family.
Exactly. Maybe even I'll send you one of the pics I took and you can use it if you want to for
yes, that would be great.
Show notes. But yeah, it was fun to have it in the kitchen. I mean,
Is it still there?
No, because we had to use. I wasn't using it. I wasn't making soup, and I put it away.
It just threw everybody off so much. You had to put it back up.
Yeah, it was so unexpected. Everyone was shocked. We couldn't talk about anything else. But yeah, it looks great. I mean, it looks great. And my palette really lends to a pop of red because it's mostly black and white, and some wood tones mixed in and some golds and things like that. So it looked good. I mean, I'm not going to say it didn't. But I don't think it's just red. I agree with you that red really lends itself to this theory, and a lot of other colors couldn't do what red can do. But I think black can do this similar thing. That's why we've talked, and it's a designer mantra that everybody needs a little black in every room, and you don't mean a whole lot of black, you just mean this pop, right? Because it does something. It makes everything else look better because of it. I'm not sure that the red theory necessarily makes other things look better because of it, but it does draw your eye in a special way. So it kind of makes it like a whimsical thing almost. So have you tried Dupe yet? If you haven't, come on, dupe.com. It is going to be your new shopping best friend. And it's not just for furniture. I know I've shared with you about my coffee table dupe, but you can save money with Dupe on fashion, shoes, jewelry, and more. I just used Dupe to find an absolute perfect twin of this t-shirt that I wanted. It was an $80 t-shirt. I was not going to pay $80 for a t-shirt. Dupe helped me find the twin, like maybe the exact same shirt. Find something you love, and then you can find replicas, twins, and maybe the exact thing for so much less. Give Dupe a try today. It is really so easy to use. You just type dupe.com / before any product URL in your browser, and voila! It instantly finds you less expensive alternatives. They even have an app and a browser extension you can download. No account is required. No sign up is required. It is completely free. I know. Can you believe it? But it is completely free to use. Stop wasting money on brand names and start saving with dupe.com today.
Well, and I too had my red phase. Everything was in red. In fact, my sofa and several of my chairs are red underneath the cream linen slipcover. It is red underneath there, but we keep it covered. So I guess I could have uncovered that for my own little test here. When I changed out the reds for cooler colors, the lavenders, the soft blues, the creams, the grays, the red was clashing with it because what I had was a very warm red. And so I covered it all up. And so, yeah, the thought of adding red was, it kind of feels like going backwards for me, kind of like what you were saying. But I did a few years ago get a beautiful antique Oriental wool rug that's a runner and put that upstairs. And it's really one of my favorite things in the house, oddly enough. And it's red. And it's the only thing red, but it's this nice size rug. But it does really seem to add something. I mean, red is very beautiful. And, it's used a lot in English country homes. They almost always have some red somewhere, and they put it with grays and blues. They really add it in anywhere, but it's more, the red they use tends to be more of an apple red, more of a cooler red than what I had used in the past. So that's certainly something that you can do. And I think the red does go with a lot of colors. You'd be surprised.
Oh, yeah, I think so too. So where is that runner? Is it in a hallway?
It's in a hallway upstairs. That's right. Yeah.
You're living it. You're living the dream of the unexpected red theory right there. Right? Because
you just go upstairs and say, what? Where did this red come from?
This was completely unexpected, Anita.
And then if you want to add just a pop of red, should we talk about some ways to do that?
Sure.
Okay. Well, I have a list of things that I was thinking that where you could just do it in a small way. So maybe you could add a red lampshade or maybe some hand towels. That's a nice way to do it in a very reversible way. Some pillows, maybe even paint a mirror red. I think that's really beautiful. Maybe add a red chair or even some red curtains, depending. I would probably not make them solid red, maybe add some other color in there. But those are easy things to add in general. And I think those could be very pretty.
Yeah, I would tend to do something, if you're not a red person or your palette does not include red and you want to try this out, I would do something inexpensive first off. Well, of course, you could just pick something that you have that's spray paintable and get some red spray paint and have at it. Maybe a vase, a basket, something like that, and try it out. See if you like it. If your color palette is primarily blue and white, I wouldn't try this because it's way too 4th of July, I think.
I think you could. Again, you have to be careful about how you did it, but there's so many. What about adding a Suzanne? Those have typically red and blue in them, and they are gorgeous. And I don't think they come off 4th of July.
Well, no, not a Suzanne. No, because it's a pattern and it's got other things going on and it's got this sort of ethnic thing going on. But if you just had blue and white and then along the lines of what I was saying, and you spray paint a vase red or a basket red, I just feel like in that type of instance where you're just doing one item and it's a simple item and it's just sprayed red or it is red, I think you can run into some trouble there with it just looking a little too red, white, and blue. So I don't love that combo, but that's just me. You can take it
Well,
away.
and also it depends on the shade of blue, right? If it's navy, then it might look more that way.
We're talking about red today, so quit it with the blue, okay?
No, but you're saying for it to look too
I'm joking. Another way to add a little touch of red in an inexpensive or easier way is maybe a red tray. I did this with a client. She has a pretty neutral palette, but she does have reds running throughout and red and some art that she has. So I wouldn't say that it would be completely unexpected to have this red lacquer tray on her coffee table, but it does really pop because surrounding it is neutral sofas and a neutral rug and a metal coffee table. So in that particular spot, the red lacquer tray really does pop. So I would just think of some simple ways. And like us, you might have some red in the cabinet undercover somewhere, and just pull it out and see what you think.
That you've been hiding for the past few years. So yeah, go open up your trunk. Yeah, there might be something in there.
Well, it's a fun way to create a focal point when maybe you don't have a really distinct one in a room as well. Because I think this unexpectedness, we talk about this a lot with respect to an antique or something that has a little whimsy or something that is really personal to you, or, you know, something that's maybe from a completely different style than most of your furnishings. It's because it's creating this little tension that brings interest and draws your eye. But I would be very judicious about it. The idea is it's unexpected. So if you start adding so much red, as Anita mentioned in the beginning, you kind of like, it's not part of this theory anymore. It's just part of your palette.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Well, I think we've really covered this.
You think we've covered it?
I think we painted the town red enough today.
Oh, I wasn't going to go there, but okay. All righty. Well, as always, it's so fun hanging out with you, Kelly. And thanks so much for listening. And remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Want to talk to us? Well, we really want to talk to you. So let's schedule a design consult. Anita and I are here to give you individualized, actionable advice on how to create the beautiful home you want and deserve. It's so easy to schedule a design consult with us. Simply click the link in the show notes or head to decoratingtipsandtricks.com/consult. When we talk to you on the scheduled time, we will be ready with so many great tips, advice, and yes, tricks. So sign up today for a design consult. We can't wait to talk to you.